shoeshine boy and the farmer in dead. Each string is barbed wire, each chord is a thread. This blues guy mad, that never had a hit. Said you don't gotta be loud, son, to be heavy as shit. Well, I'm the trigger man, baby. Tonight I'll prove that this machine here, well, it kills fascists too. And don't be surprised if the Sermon on the Mount next time's delivered in a little coffee house. Cause somebody here's gotta let them know. I doubt it's me, but here I go. I hit the button, tape started to roll. Yeah, the song's got fire, but it's got no soul. There's a lonely stretch of blacktop between here and home. Drop down into the valley, piano playing in the living room. When you see the white barn, you'll know the journey's through. My dog's barking in the backseat, 'cause he knows it too. You'll need a fake passport and fix your disguise. And don't fire sugar till you see the whites of their eyes. I turn the other cheek, but now I'm through. The skin you're in makes choices for you. I was checking off names and I came late to dinner. Seems the slices of pie keep getting thinner and thinner. Brothers and sisters, rejoice and repent. The landlord's dead, you can keep the rent. You got 12 fine friends, but one of them's rotten. There's a hole out back, ain't got no bottom. 40 days in the wilderness, 40 sleepless nights. I'm confused, half blind, and sure I'm right. There's a lonely stretch of blacktop between here and home.
Good morning. Welcome to the block. Been on a little bit of hiatus. Been busy. Just working on a project that I'll probably get out a little bit later today. But I'm back. Kind of got a schedule ironed out. You know, just kind of working around school, working around work. Trying to find some time. This is the block. I am your host, Kyle Johnston. Find my work on Twitter at KJ_theblock. Find it on my blog site, KyleJohnsonTheBlock.wordpress.com. It's been a busy week of sports, busy week of pop culture, busy week of politics. Republican debate went down. Canadian federal election debate went down. I'll get into that a little bit later. Harper was throwing right hooks. Justin Trudeau was throwing left hooks. Montclair kind of was stuck in the middle, taking both punches. But I'll get to that soon. Just thought I'd start off with a little bit softer note. But as you can see, I got some Barclays Premier League action going on in the background. Big match. Chelsea hosting Arsenal. Chelsea still trying to find their foot in the Premier League after a slow, sluggish start. Mourinho's at his typical best, attacking reporters when questioning about his third season and previous campaigns. His third season for previous teams. Mourinho fired shots back. Basically said, "Why should I be on the hot seat? I'm the defending Premier League manager. There's managers that haven't won the Premier League in 7, 8, 10 years. Sounds like shots against Arsene Wenger to me." He also defended his record in third seasons. He's won a handful of things, but we all know Mourinho's moved on. He's trying to stay a little longer at Chelsea this time, build a dynasty. But this game's fucking heated right up. Arsenal's down to 10 men right now. Young Gabriel got caught in a spat. The fucking badass Diego Costa. He is a badass. He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit to many people. I think he's a piece of shit, but I respect his passion. Speaking of passion, play this for a little Diego Costa right now. You know, I'm going to say this one's for my pops. I'll let it flow while I talk about Chelsea game here right now. But yeah, basically Costa got into it with Laurent Koscielny on a set piece. Basically, he went to the ground like a little bitch. Fell to the ground like a little bitch. Blown over by the wind. And then obviously Koscielny's got some words for him. And Costa gets up and gives him the old chest bump. You know, hit him pretty good. To be fair, Koscielny went down pretty easy. Obviously, that brought a group of players in. Obviously, brought the group of players in. Some pushing, some shoving. Young Gabriel, he was actually trying to break them up. Brazilian-born. Portuguese speaking. Same as Costa. Costa got in his ear. Started grilling him. They had they had a little pushing match. Arms flailing. Both got yellow cards. And basically, when the referee was basically going to start the match up again, goal kick, Costa and Gabriel were both walking backwards with Costa, like Costa was behind Gabriel. And then like Costa just stopped moving, and like Gabriel fucking backed into him. And then Costa did the old, oh, he fucking stepped on my foot. Fucking hopped around like a little fucking loser for a good minute. We still show him passion. Like he's trying to win. Give him credit. He's trying to fucking win for his team. But you don't have to go to those fucking lows. Like come on, man. There's gotta be a fucking, you gotta draw a line in the sand, Costa. He generally steps over that line. He's always fucking pushing that line. That's why he's got some fucking passion. And I'm on Chelsea in this game. I got Chelsea to fucking win this game. There's no way Arsenal should be down to 10 men. It's fucking brutal. Fucking ruined the match. The referee, too, can be blamed. He fucking handled it pretty poorly. But Costa fucking instigated the whole fucking shit. He shouldn't be on the match. On the pitch right now. Shouldn't be on the pitch. But I do got Chelsea in this game. Hong Kong, Tokyo. But, got some other sports picks for you. Got a little bit of updates on the GOP, Republicans. Some updates to the Canadian federal election polls. Some other sports talk. Boise State. Crush Idaho. Idaho is a fucking piece of shit college football team. Probably like bottom 5 in the fucking Division 1. But we crushed them. Lost our quarterback though. I'll get to that. Got like 5 or 6 plays for you. Some on the gridiron. Some on the diamond. Yeah, Costa's showing the passion out there. Costa's showing the passion. So I'll get to my sports picks in a little bit, as I was yelling over the music there. It's in the morning. Got to give me a little bit of a break here. Getting back in the flow of things. So let's get right into it here. We're talking a little bit of footy. Had Chelsea in this match. They're up 1-0. So hope we can cash that ticket. Go, Matt, what? 1 minute, 10 minutes left to go in the game. I think I'm going at like what, plus 165, something like that. Plus 140, sorry. I'm on Chelsea at plus 140 right now. 10 o'clock slots in the BPL. Or the EPL, like some like to call it. I'm going to roll the dice with the Magpies. The Geordie Army should be in full voice down at St. James Park. So I'm going to roll plus 145 Newcastle over Watford. Newcastle's yet to win. Going into match day 6 of the Premier League. They need a win desperately, sitting bottom of the table. Steve McLaren's warned his boys to grow up. Nobody's safe. Daryl Wanmott, right back. Maybe their most consistent player over the last year and a bit. Saying they need to step up. They're nowhere near their best. Playing a Watford team that I think is going to struggle on the road. And we need Newcastle to show a little passion here. They certainly got the passion from the Geordie Army, the Toon Armies. Steve McLaren, who I'm not a big fan of as a manager. Disappointing season last year in Derby. Go ask their supporters what they think of Steve McLaren. Ask England national supporters what they think of Steve McLaren. Personally, I think he's going to fuck it all up. He's going to get fired. He's going to get sacked. And Newcastle's going to be back in square one, fighting for their lives. A big club like that, such a rich tradition, history, fighting for relegation. Fighting for safety from relegation, I should say. A little disappointing. But I'm going to ride Newcastle plus 140. My club, Manchester United, we take the pitch away tomorrow at Southampton. Hopefully we can win it. For Luke Shaw, who's still in the hospital over in Holland. After he broke his fibula and tibia midweek in Champions League action. Oh, yeah, Champions League action. Fucking United, both Manchester clubs. Disappointing. Now I gotta give it to Juventus. They fought fucking hard against City. They deserved 3 points in that game. Even though City fucking, threw it away. By going up early. By going up 1-0 and throwing it away. Losing 2-0. 2-1, sorry. Beautiful, beautiful ball by Paul Pogba. What a talent this kid is. What a shame that United let him leave. Probably one of Fergie's few, and it turned out to be a big mistake. One of his few mistakes, and it was a big mistake. United lost to PSV. Started off strong. Obviously, the injury kind of broke a little bit of momentum, but that's no excuse. Literally no excuse. Because we quickly responded. Memphis Depay put United up 1-0. And then they just expected to win. They fucking sat back, were sluggish, and expected to fucking win. Now, the scoring depth for United is going to be a problem this year. Wayne Rooney can't stay healthy. We have a problem up front. Martial, he's got some talent in his boots. But he doesn't have the experience to play up front by himself. Doesn't have the experience to play up front by himself. And if he does, Juan Mata, you got to fucking get your head on your ass. And give him some support. You have to. But United, they're really going to struggle with their scoring depth. Mario Balotelli for sale? Is Balotelli for sale, Liverpool? Balotelli, is he for sale? Oh, he's over in AC Milan on loan right now. Cristiano Ronaldo ran wild midweek Champions League action. All-time Champions League goal scorer. He's going mano-a-mano with Lionel Messi, who did not respond. They drew Roma 1-1. Nice goal by Florenzi. Scored just inside half. Actually saw, it was great video angle. You can see him look up, catch the keeper, Ter Stegen off his line. Nice chip in. Far post and in. Beautiful goal, beautiful goal. Definitely one of the world-class Champions League goals we will see. Man City, they're in action today. Speaking of Man City, the blue side of Manchester, they're hosting West Ham, who's been an interesting club this year. City seems to be scoring goals for fun in the Premier League right now. We'll see if Aguero suits up. He'll probably be a game-time decision. Probably be questionable at best. Coming off a European campaign midweek. See if West Ham can maybe jump on City a little early. Maybe they're a little sluggish. We'll see how much turnaround they have in their squad. West Ham's coming off a 2-0. Dominant 2-0 win over Newcastle. Fuck Newcastle, you look like the team I used to play out in the Ornal Fields in House League soccer. You're brutal. Average at fucking best, Newcastle, and I'm being fucking nice. But West Ham, they've been a nice watch, but weird. What's the word I'm looking for? They've been consistently inconsistent, I guess you could say a little bit. Winning away from home and losing at home. Like they did pick up the first win at home against Newcastle last week, but did lose to Bournemouth. Did lose to Leicester. I really don't think they have much of a shot in this game. I think City will come away with all 3 points. Not enough value with City because of the draw lingering in there. Minus 400 right now. They should come away with 3 points though. Could be a parlay if anybody's looking to play City. A couple other interesting matches going on today. Swansea-Everton. I have a feeling there might be some goals in that match. Swansea's off to a flying start. Good on you, Gary Monk. Nice young manager. England national team kind of has a bright future. Alan Pardew doing quite well in Crystal Palace. Gary Monk doing quite well with Swansea. Potentially two future candidates to replace Roy Hodgson there. Roy's done an alright job. He's been one of our better managers. But you got to step up in Euros, Roy. You got to step up in Euros, Roy. Other than that, all's relatively quiet on the transfer market. Obviously, United's looking for a left back now. Jetro Willems. Young left back for PSV, actually. I actually got to see him play live. I went down and I caught a Netherlands-Northern Ireland match before Euro 2012, Ajax Stadium. Great fucking time. Want to talk about a motherfucking tailgate party? Fuck, man. All fucking orange. They have, like, the stadium, like, is, like, kind of like here. And then, I'd say to the left of it, there's, like, a huge, like, kind of, like, square. With, like, shops all around it. And just a fucking tailgate. Fucking all the Dutch delights. The Dutch cuties. The bad habits. The Dutch good stuff. Everything they're famous for down there flowing around. Good times. And they let you smoke in the stadium too. Good on you. I think I've told that story before about the security guard letting those 2 guys smoke. Then she politely asked them not to do it again, but she let them have their cigarette. Pretty awesome. But move on from the pitch. As you can see, Chelsea's up 2-0 right now. In extra time. You can cash that ticket, even though it's a shame that the fucking match was ruined by that red card. Fucking Diego Costa, that's all I can say. He's a gamer, he's got passion, but fuck, he's a loser, man. He's a loser. He's an idiot. Would I want him on my team? If he's scoring goals. Right now, he's looking a little out of shape, to be honest with you. But, we don't need those antics. We don't need those childish fucking antics in this fucking game right now. We really don't. We're going to move on from the pitch. And Costa. Thursday. September 17th. Marked opening day for NHL training camps. As you know, living in the GTA, I usually hear nothing but the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's been pretty quiet this year, obviously. Toronto Blue Jays are rolling. And what can I say about the Toronto Blue Jays? I've been waiting for them to stumble. Oh, I've been waiting for them to fucking stumble. Because water will find its level. I was worried they might be peaking too soon, but I don't know. They're a good ball club right now. What can I say? Pitching well. You gotta excuse me for a sec. It's early. Fuck, not doing the block. Not doing the block for a week has made me weak. It softened me up. Anyways, like I said, the Blue Jays playing good baseball. Kind of taking all the news, kind of taking all the hype away from the Leafs. Usually it's always Leafs, 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 Leafs. That's all I hear about. But they did make a trade, picking up Grabner from the Islanders. Sending five, I wouldn't really call them prospects. They've been in the minors for a while. They're on professional contracts, but you're only allowed so many professional contracts on your roster overall. And this basically allows them to sign some of the professional tryouts, like Curtis Glencross is on one with the Leafs. Basically allows the Leafs to sign these guys. And Grabner, he's a centerman. They need some centermen. He's I can't even say this word right now. He's an interesting character. I can't even say it. You're probably all laughing at me right now. Just like my classmates were laughing at me when I was getting some makeup put on. We had a makeup artist come into our class, actually. Did the whole shebang. Everything that you girls put on, they were putting on us guys. It was pretty hilarious. Pretty funny. Didn't mind being pampered, though, to be honest with you. I'd never been pampered before. No wonder you girls like it so much. Didn't mind it. I could have got used to it. Could I ever do it myself? Oh, fucking hell no. But it's a learning process. It's a learning process. I just want to see anything like this. So, like, Verhaeghe, 2013 third overall pick. Whatever. Whatever. Who else did the Leafs give up in that? Taylor Beck, don't even really know who he is. Matt Finn, heard of him. Got drafted a couple years ago, probably around third or fourth or something like that. Whatever. Tom Nielsen, whatever. Goalie Christopher Gibson, whatever. They need some professional players, Toronto. They need some players that can play in their fucking lineup. So Grabner fits that role. The Islanders just went out and signed, Jidlicki. So, kind of freed up some cap room for them. It all works out. But the bigger news in hockey comes from the club that I support. The Montreal Canadiens have just named the 29th captain in club history, with the honors going to Max Pacioretty. It is a safe pick, but I think it's also a very good pick. Kind of reminds me of a Kirk Muller style. Now, maybe his style on the ice isn't as rugged and gritty as Kirk Muller was, but his persona, just the way he goes about his interviews, the way I see him carry himself on and off the ice with his teammates, kind of reminds me of a Kirk Muller type deal. I know my pops will be listening to this very intently. Come from a family of Habs fans. You're not going to find any Leaf stuff in my parents' household. If anybody has watched me watch the Habs play and or United play, my father's not too far off from me, or maybe I'm not too far off from my father. Along with my best friend's father. I haven't seen two dads passionate about their teams. My best friend's dad's a Leaf fan, and consistently hear him when I'm over there watching the game at my best friend's house, screaming and yelling. Usually screaming and yelling at me. When the Leafs are getting the better of my club. Or screaming and yelling at guys like Jyrke Lume. Just as my dad's screaming and yelling at guys like Moen. Moen. Did Moen ever get ripped in my household? But anyways, pretty happy with it. I think it's a safe pick. I think it's a good pick. People are going to be asking about PK Subban and where he was in this discussion. And people, PK Subban is just going to be PK Subban. We all know that. We all see that. I think he's finally happy with being allowed to be who he is now. The mainstream media is not all over him for everything he does. Any bad little thing, any comment, like they were for his first 3.5 years. They were all over him. And there was a huge biasness towards that. Massive. That I think some of it had to do with, I hate to say it, his race. But yes, because there's not too many African Canadians playing in the NHL. And he was I can't even say it. Enigmatic. He was an enigmatic character, you know what I'm saying? Like he's an interesting character. He's himself. So PK's gonna be PK. We just want to let him be that. Like Larry Robinson was Larry Robinson. Subban will do his thing. He will be the face of the franchise, as will Carey Price. Quite possibly our true leader, as most pundits over in the covering the Habs at the Bell Center say. And I agree. He does need a little bit of help. Giving Brendan Gallagher the A is a nice move. Markov and Thomas Mechanic will also retain their A's, and along with PK Subban. Four A's. Maybe one too many, in my opinion, but hey, what was even better is that instead of Marc Bergevin presenting this news, the team presented the news as one. This is what they voted on. Coach Therrien didn't announce it. GM Marc Bergeron didn't announce it. The team announced it. So I'd like to see that. A couple other things in the Habs world kind of caught my eye. Fleischmann playing up there with Gallagher. Kind of interesting to see what a Fleischmann might add to our team. And, the bottom six, maybe an extra forward, some depth in our forward lines. Interesting to see Eller playing left wing with Galchenyuk and Semin. And got some news from the social media, the Twitter world. Actually, Eller's saying he expects to play left wing. He wants a top 6 role, and by playing left wing, this will allow it. So this is where he wants to be, he said. Top 6. I like the confidence. He's got the skating ability and the puck possession ability to do it. The Habs kind of got away from their oh my god, this is early in the morning. Jeez. The Habs kind of got away from their cycle play, which was is a big component of our game. Since we're not the biggest team in the world, we need to be able to keep a hold of that puck. And I'd say the second half of the season last year, we kind of got away from that. A little bit more of a dump and chase kind of team, and we weren't cycling the puck once we got a hold of it inside their zone. It just wasn't happening. And our scoring opportunities obviously went dry, as you can just look at the stats. But I'm pretty proud of Brendan Gallagher. I'm a big fan of him. Hopefully he gets a little bit more respect around the league for this. I think he's a big voice in our dressing room. And I'm looking forward to the Habs. To be honest with you, though, I am a little worried because there's no way Price can repeat what he did last year. Just no way. He may, though. He may. You never know. He's going to need some help. So hopefully we can score him some goals. There's a lot of interesting components about the Habs. Semin. McCarron. De La Rose. Desharnais. The hell is this guy going to do? Seems to be up and down like a yo-yo every year. We'll get Galchenyuk play center. Tenorti on his last string. I'm very interested to see what Boyo can do in a full season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But we'll move on from the ice since I have no picks on the ice because we ain't playing right now. The puck has not dropped. Just signed up for a fantasy league, cash fantasy league. Looking forward to it, boys. I'll let you know who some of my selections are. I already have my strategy ready to go. I played a few NHL fantasy leagues. I didn't know. I just heard last night that DraftKings and the was it Fantasy Showdown, something like that. It's illegal in Arizona right now. Still, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But anyways, don't want to get stuck on that too much. I want to move on to the gridiron. Get to some more plays, some more picks. I'll recap them at the end of this for everybody. We've got some NCAA action going on right now. Before I get to my plays, I just want to, my Boise State fan, big Boise State fan. Shut down Idaho State. Shut down Idaho State last night. I can't speak this morning. I just can't speak. But Idaho State sucks. They're fucking god awful. Point spread was like minus 28.5. Boise State cruised to a 52-0 victory. Just dominated them. We had a, devastating loss. Fucking another Hail Mary. BYU. Like, who's this BYU team? Just tossing fucking Hail Marys. Doesn't matter who their fucking quarterback is. They're just tossing fucking Hail Marys. But Ryan Finley went down. Starting quarterback. It's not good. It's a tough loss. It's a huge fucking loss for Boise, who was looking to make a push, hopefully into the BCS playoff picture. Without a healthy Finley, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Brett Ripon, he replaced him. He's actually a nephew of a former Super Bowl MVP, Mark Ripon. So he's got some talent flowing through his veins. He's got the lineage, which I like. I always like lineage in sports. You got to give it a try. So we're gonna see what he can do. He's actually the first true freshman to make his debut for Boise since '93. So I wish the kid luck. Started off strong, 8 for 9, 126 yards. Not bad. It's a way to get your feet wet. It was actually, if he's going to get his feet wet in any game, it's a perfect game to get his feet wet. We're going to have to rely on the ground game heavily now. Heavily now. McNichols is going to be relied on a lot more. A lot more. 8 touchdowns already. 3 games. He actually was quoted, he was actually pumping the tires of a lot of his teammates after this game. McNichols, he's a class act. He's going to be one of the first running backs selected in the draft. Probably a mid-second round pick, late second round pick, something like that. Might sneak into the first round. We'll see how well he does. He might sneak into the first round. But he was quoted as stating, "We started running more downhill this week. We tried to do what we can on our running game as a unit. We want to be good. We want to see everybody succeed," which is nice. When we hear that, especially with Finley going down, the troops are going to have to rally. But let's get to some action today and stop living in the past. Remember the past. Learn from the past. Don't live in the past. So right off the hop, game that kind of stood out for me, Notre Dame hosting Georgia Tech. Malik Zaire, the Malik Zaire era, Notre Dame. And I couldn't help myself. Just going to pull up the lines here for you. Sometimes it almost seems too good to be true, but when you're thinking you're getting some value, you got to pull the trigger. So I'm playing a teaser on this game. That's why I just want to pull up the original lines here. And I want to see if anything's changed. You tell it's early in the morning when I can't find the line right away. It's usually like, bam, there it is. Struggling this morning. But anyways, I'll be able to do the math myself. Anyways, I said Notre Dame, they're hosting Georgia Tech. With 2.5, they're getting 2.5 points at home. 2.5 point underdogs. Notre Dame, team that can score the ball, throw the ball, run the ball. They got a mean defense. Even though I think Georgia Tech's gonna get some points, they're a gadget team. They're a triple option team. Likes to run the ball a lot, but they're gonna get their points. So, and the over/under right now is 55.5. Yeah, 55 flat. 55.5 actually. Sorry. So it's Georgia Tech minus 2.5, over/under 55.5. I'm gonna play a teaser in this game. I'm gonna tease Notre Dame up to +9, over 49. I think it's almost too good to be true to be getting Notre Dame at +9, over 49 at home. So I'm gonna lay the trigger and lay it down with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the over 49 on a teaser, 6.5 point teaser. Other game that kind of stood out for me was Washington Huskies hosting Utah State. Now I did see this line. Washington's -7 favorites right now. Over/under 44. Washington put up a good fight in the opening week of the NCAA football season against Boise, losing 16-13 in Idaho. Utah State's coming off a couple big in-state rivalry games. They have a good defense. They're going to struggle to score the ball, though. Washington's got a good defense as well. And I think Washington's offense is just going to be too much for Utah State coming off 2 big games. I like the -7. I like them to win by at least 10. I wouldn't be shocked if we win by 9 or 10 points. So I'm going to lay it with the Washington Huskies -7 over the Utah State Aggies. Michigan's at home to UNLV. -35.5. Over/under 48. Got nothing in that game. A couple other big games are on the board. A little bit later on in the day that I'm going to take a little look at. USC Stanford. Very interesting game. Very interesting. I look for USC to roll in that game. I wouldn't be shocked to see some points in that game as well. Wouldn't be. I'd be leaning to the over. It's really the only other one that kind of catches my eye, to be honest with you. One that stands out. Because I really love Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame this week. I think Notre Dame's a legitimate title contender. And they got to roll the table if they want to. So they're going to show up against Georgia Tech. Republican debate went down. So before I get to that, like I said, I'm a little rusty here. You gotta deal with me. So I'm just gonna recap my picks here before I end this with a little update on the Republican debate, Canadian federal election. Some polls. Wayne Gretzky throwing his support into a corner. But I'm just gonna update my picks. I had Chelsea in the early EPL game. I like Newcastle in the 10 o'clock slot. At home against Watford, +145. Take all 3 points. Newcastle, +145. On the gridiron, NCAA football action. I love Notre Dame. They're +2.5 dogs at home against Georgia Tech. I'm going to tease that to Notre Dame +9 over 49. I like the Washington Huskies, -7 hosting Utah State. And then on the diamond, forgot about the diamond. Kansas City Royals are at Comerica Park. home of the Detroit Tigers. Matt Boyd, former Toronto Blue Jays, on the mound. And that means I like runs. I like runs. Volquez takes the mound for the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City's minus 130 favorites. Over under 8.5. Let's throw you a couple stats here to back me up here before I move on. You know, it's gone over in 6 of Kansas City's last 8 games. It's gone over in 5 of Kansas City's last 5 games and playing on the road in Detroit. Total's gone over in 5 of Detroit's last 7 games. So I like the over. The over's riding. The over's trending. Volquez has taken to the mound 3 times against Detroit this year. Has been, his last 2 outings, 5 and 6 earned runs respectively. It's 11 runs over 2 outings. Matt Boyd didn't fare any better against Kansas City in his last outing, allowing 6 earned runs. This is his 4th start against Kansas City in his young career. They're going to be quite familiar. I would also play Kansas City maybe on the money line at minus 130, which I probably will do. So I like Kansas City and Detroit to go over 8.5. So the Republican debate went down. Donald Trump's getting ripped because he didn't basically rip on some reporter calling Barack Obama a Muslim and he's not an American. And when are we going to get rid of them? It's like these fucking ignorant people, man. It's like, where do they come from? It's like they sit there all day, or they go there and waste their time to ask a question like that, to make a fucking statement like that. That's what the media should be fucking focusing on, not how Donald Trump handled it. See, Donald Trump handled it, in my opinion, alright. He didn't get in a fight with the guy. Could have fucking blown up in his face as he started fucking going off on that fucking shit. It's a road you don't really want to go down, Donald Trump, and I think he was smart by not going fucking down it. Media should be ripping on this fucking asshole, probably waiting around all day to get in to ask such a fucking stupid, arrogant question. But anyways, despite what was all said and done, in a pretty quiet CNN Republican debate by Donald Trump, hey, he's top 30%. He's gained 8 points since August. He's at 32%. Closest competition, Ben Carson. He's at 19%. Old Jeb Bush, saying I'm not like the other Bushes. He's down in third at 9%. But a couple of interesting things though is that Trump, he's starting to gain momentum with the females. He's starting to gain momentum with the female GOP the voters, which is going to be a very interesting scenario if he comes out with that. I'm just trying to find the number here. He's got the Tea Party backing him, Donald Trump. 27? So went from 27 up to 41% backing from the Tea Party. He's up 13 points among women. That's what I was looking for. He's up 13 points among women right now, which is a very interesting since all the attacks by the media and his fellow GOP rivals and saying how disrespectful he is towards women. And he said a lot of disrespectful things towards women. Yes, he has. But you also got to remember with the Carly Fiorina thing, he's in a battle with her too. And it's not like Donald Trump's never been fucking attacked for his appearance either. Attacking his hair and other parts of his appearance, etc. The color of his skin. Sometimes he looks orange. Looks like a Oompa Loompa. But anyways, interesting he's up 13 points among women. Still do not believe he will become president of the United States. I do not believe he will be the candidate. I still think it's going to be Bush versus Clinton. I don't think Donald Trump wants to be president of the United States of America. He's a billionaire. He's got enough shit on his plate. Why would he want a job that pays him like $300,000 a year to have all that fucking shit put on his plate? I think he's quite happy making fucking towers that are fucking 100 stories high. Funny thing is, if he ever did build the wall along Mexico, if he ever did win it, he'd probably build hotels on the Mexican side for all the Mexican people trying to get over the state so they have somewhere to live. You know, just make money off their ass. That's what he does. He's a capitalistic little shit, Donald Trump. But I just don't think he wants to do it. I wouldn't be shocked if you see Donald Trump step away and resign on his own terms and boost about it and say, yeah, you know, like, and put it like he was right for stepping away and smart business-wise and etc., etc., etc. Would not be shocked about that. Fortunately for the doctor, Ben Carson, they're African-American, dude, and they ain't going to elect back-to-back African-Americans, especially Republican African-American. That's just not going to fucking happen. You're a day late and $1 short, or you should have been a little bit more fucking patient and waited it out. Even though I really like what you have to say, Doc. I really like what you have to say, Carson. I really do. I really do. And, you know, and he's moving up. He's getting some momentum. I just don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. But, along with the Republican debate, the Canadian federal election went down. And as I said, Harper was throwing right hooks. Justin, he was throwing left hooks. The NDP, old Mouclair, he was just stuck in the middle, fucking getting them from both sides. Very disappointing, in my opinion. Representation for the NDP. I think Mouclair definitely showed a lot of weakness. Not only in a lot of his policies, a lot of questions he didn't want to answer. Beat around the bush a lot. Unlike Harper, who didn't really like his answers, but at least he fucking answered the questions. Same with Justin Trudeau. At least he answered the questions. And those two guys stuck to their fucking ideas, their ideology, their theories, and they answered the questions. So I give it on them, and that, you know, created a nice fucking back and forth between the two. The NDP just beat around the bush. They were fucking dancing. Mouclair, very disappointing. Very disappointing. But, Canada's favorite, Wayne Gretzky, Canada's golden child. He's actually throwing his support in the corner of the Conservatives and Stephen Harper. He was at a charity campaign, Toronto, when he was asked about this. He said they're not eligible. They're not eligible to vote since they've been living in America for so long. They're actually kind of like on Donald Sutherland, who just fucking went off on the Canadian government for not allowing him to vote because he lived in the States for too long when he was trying to do his acting career. But he's throwing his support in the corner of Mr. Harper, which is very interesting. I've never really heard Wayne Gretzky get involved in politics before. Maybe it's a new step, a new endeavor in his career. You never know. Wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me to see Wayne Gretzky get involved in that. He's been very quiet in the hockey scene. Just wants to get paid by the Coyotes, basically. But the Stars released some results from a new poll. Conservatives, they made a jump. Last time I did an update on a poll, they were sitting third, around 27%. They're up to 32% right now. Taking the lead. Taking the fucking reins back. The NDP are sitting second at 30, which I think is going to fall. Unfortunately. They need fucking Jack Layton to come rescue this fucking party. I've been voting NDP. I fucking lean to the left. The Liberals, 28%. Coming up in the bronze. Third on the podium. But I think they'll rise. I think Trudeau held his own. I think he did quite well for a young lad, to be honest with you. He did quite well. But, it's Saturday. The Barclays Premier League's kicking off. Newcastle's just kicking off. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch it. I gotta give the town of Oakville a call because my buddy got a parking ticket last night because he didn't want to drink and drive and he crashed at my house and they nailed him. Fucking bullshit. Where do people park when they want to visit? Fucking around my place, subdivision, like where do you park? Fuck. It's just more aggravation. More aggravation. But I'm glad you can join me here today. Remember, you can find my work on Twitter at KJ_the block. You can find my work on my blog site, KyleJohnstonTheBlock.wordpress.com. And remember, if you're not laying the money down on the table, you're not winning. Cheers.